How are you doing, Chris?
Hey, good. Hey, thanks for having us on the channel today. Really excited to talk about the WIZ protocol. How's everything going with you?
You're welcome, man. Yeah, great, man. Everything's doing great, except I'm a little bit sick this morning, since this morning. So I hope it's not gonna be tough for the next days.
Yeah, you and me both, man. I just got over sickness too, so it sounds like it's been going around.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I hope it's not gonna be bad, cause for my kids, it hit them bad. All right, so do
Hey,
we have
Dali.
Nick with us today?
Hey, Dali. What's up?
Hey, Nick, how are you, man?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Nice to have you here, man.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
All right, so today we have Nick and Chris. They both from WIZ project team. And yeah, so let's get this started, guys. First of all, I'm gonna ask you to introduce yourself and also to give us a quick description about the team behind the project, please.
Absolutely. So, hello everyone. I just want to thank Dolly for having me on Mr. Big Whale's YouTube channel. It's an absolute honor to be speaking to you guys today. My name is Chris Ford. I'm a core community team member and in the lead for social media and communication for WIZ and Hocus Pocus. I also run the Verse Crypto YouTube channel with my partner Trey Souls. I have a background in engineering and minor experience in software programming. I've been involved with cryptocurrency for approximately 2.5 years. I work on the front end for the social media marketing and produce content for the Hocus Pocus School. Today, I'm joined with two other development team members. They are Nick and Robin. Nick is the lead developer for WIZ and Hocus Pocus. He works on the back end of the project. He mainly focuses on the software development, project management, and technical communication behind the WIZ project. Robin leads the community on Telegram with the other moderators and is involved in the marketing of both WIZ and Hocus Pocus. We're all here today to discuss the WIZ project and how it has potential to impact the progression of decentralized finance.
Great, man. Nice introduction. Anything to add, Nick?
Yeah, I think that Chris already did a great introduction. But I'm Nick. I'm from the Netherlands, and I'm a software developer. I'm active in the SAP software space for 17 years, and 6 years in the crypto space. And I've been working on WIZ and Hocus Pocus, one of our other protocols, for about a year now.
Nice, man. Nice to have you here, guys. Looks like a strong team we have here.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So let's talk a little bit about WIZ. How did things get started, and when did it get started?
So, just starting off, the entire project development team has experience in trading cryptocurrency. During our cryptocurrency journey, we came across many projects with a lot of issues that vary from marketing and software development. We decided to create a project that includes the best parts of meme coins and decentralized protocols. We developed a great project with great branding that has the potential to gain traction within the meme space. In addition, we added some awesome utility that can potentially guarantee the long-term survival of this project. In the past, we have seen projects impose extremely sketchy behavior behind reflection coins, liquidity pools, and transaction swaps. Our development team at Hocus Pocus tries to remain as transparent as possible with the entire community. The Pocus project will be launching on the PulseChain. As many of you know, PulseChain has not yet launched. In anticipation for the launch of the PulseChain, we decided to launch a new project called WIZ. WIZ is an onboarding project that will attract new investors to the PulseChain using specialized tokenomic structure that has not been implemented by any project yet. WIZ is a decentralized protocol which is running on the Ethereum network with rewards on both Ethereum and PulseChain. You will receive rewards on Ethereum in the form of a reflection, and you will also receive rewards on the PulseChain from the treasury. We will bridge the funds over to the PulseChain. WIZ token holders will be airdropped Hocus Pocus and PulseChain tokens on the PulseChain network.
Okay, so you guys launching another project, and it's kind of gonna be connected to WIZ project, right?
That's correct.
So essentially, what what we started out with was a project called Hocus Pocus, and the main thing that we're trying to do is launch on the PulseChain ecosystem. Since PulseChain launches right around the corner, there's a lot of hype and a lot
Yeah,
of
exactly.
people.
There's a lot of hype around this blockchain.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the idea was, because there's been so many delays behind the PulseChain, we actually launched a new project called WIZ, which is mainly an onboarding project. And the idea is you go in and you interact with the WIZ token, buy and sell it. And if you hold the token, then you have the chance, you can basically win rewards onto the PulseChain, and it's used as more of an onboarding function type project. And so what we're trying to do is create a another project that will not only help our main project, the Hocus Pocus, but also help the entire PulseChain ecosystem.
Exactly. Like you will introduce your investors on Wiz project to the blockchain by giving
Absolutely.
them rewards with your other project, which is a Hook project, right?
Absolutely, that's the main goal. And this type of project we introduce is very different from other projects that traditional projects flow. Typically, they start on one blockchain and they move to another blockchain and they go multi-chain. Well, we instead decided to have our main project on PulseChain and launch the onboarding project on Ethereum, which Ethereum is one of the largest blockchains that has the most users. So the idea is launch the onboarding project now, and then once we get the main project out later, then we can still have this onboarding project to continue to grow our community.
Okay, I get it. It's an interesting concept, man. And tell me more about the tokenomics. Like now, the project that is live right now is the Wiz project. And what about the tokenomics of this project? Like I mean the buy and sell tax, the supply, all this, the rewards, the amount of rewards in Ethereum, and the percentage of rewards they're gonna be getting on the Pulse blockchain.
Yeah, so kind of just breaking down the overall utility. So the total coin supply is about 100 billion tokens. And
Okay.
so kind of starting off with how the utility slash the tokenomics is broken down. So the Wiz has like a very simple, easy to understand utility. And the utility is designed to extend the project life. So starting off, there's going to be a 4% transaction fee on buy orders. Of that 4%, 3% of the transaction is going to be sent directly to a treasury wallet, and the other 1% is going to be sent to a marketing wallet. And so then on the other hand, there's going to be a 8% sell fee. And so 3% of that transaction fee is sent to a treasury wallet. 0.5% of that transaction fee will be burnt. 2.5% is going to be a reflection. And then 2% is going to be sent to a liquidity pool where the liquidity pairs can be locked up forever. And so essentially the idea is we're going to use this token, and as people interact with it, it's going to build up a treasury wallet. Now, the treasury wallet is basically the main component of this entire project. And so once PulseChain goes live and we have our main project, Hocus Pocus, launch, the fees, the rewards within that treasury wallet are going to be slowly over time bridged over to the PulseChain. And if you are a Wiz token holder, you're going to be airdropped Hocus Pocus token and also PulseChain token. And so the idea is if you own the Wiz token, you're going to earn Pulse tokens and Hocus Pocus. And in order to access those tokens, you essentially have to go over to the PulseChain and interact over onto the PulseChain to execute a buy or sell or whatnot. And kind of the idea is the more users that get over to the PulseChain and interact, the high percent chance that they will actually stay on the PulseChain and use the PulseChain ecosystem. So it's like it's like the ultimate onboarding token.
Okay, I get it. I get it. And tell me, I also heard about something called the proof of post concept. Can you explain more about it?
Yeah. So basically, for those of you guys who've been in, PulseChain, you've heard of sacrifices, and it started with Richard Hart, where you send some crypto to a wallet. They have no expectation from the work of others, and then you get a point system, and then you're gonna get airdrop tokens at launch. Now, a lot of projects follow this same format. And over on the PulseChain ecosystem, a lot of projects are holding to the word, they're doing sacrifices. But then we also saw a lot of other projects, start promoting scams, start stealing money, and it's starting to turn into a mess and cause mass chaos in the community. Well, what we decided to do was we wanted to go a different route and try something completely different from what these traditional PulseChain projects are doing. And so we introduced something called the proof of post. And essentially, the proof of post is a sacrifice, which is similar to PulseChain sacrifice. But instead of sacrificing with your money, you can sacrifice with your time. You can post about WIZ on your social media account or include it in your bio using the WIZ hashtag. Once you complete this task, you can register your wallet and social media handle at pop.wiz-protocol.com. And once the proof of post has been verified, you'll basically get airdropped free WIZ tokens. And so the idea is this is a massive marketing campaign where if you just post about the WIZ token on your social media, then it gains a little bit of traction. And then in return for spending your time posting on social media, you get free crypto. Now, the one thing I really want to emphasize is that please keep in mind that the proof of post is for a political message. Time is one of the most precious possessions you can have. You can do so much more with your time. Time is something that is truly underestimated and is something that's often taken for granted under the pressure of money. The main goal of the proof of post is not only to market the WIZ token, but to spread the conceptual value of time. We're so busy in our everyday lives, and time is the only thing you will never get back. And the last thing I want to conclude with the proof of post is we just went through our first proof of post campaign, and it ended in 24 hours. And we're actually planning on launching another proof of post campaign down the road, and kind of like a phase 2.
And how were the results of that first campaign?
So the first campaign went absolutely great. We got an insane amount of engagement on social media, but also we had a few people that decided to abuse the rules. They started, making more social media handles. They started registering like 20 or 30 other wallets. So even though we got an insane amount of engagement on social media, we had to take a step back and readdress and reevaluate what's going on. I think, as most of you guys know, there's a lot of spamming, there's a lot of scams in cryptocurrency. I mean, you look at your Telegram every day, and you got scammers messaging you. So it was a great learning experience. And so we want to follow up with a phase 2 so that we have a stronger ad campaign than our previous one.
Okay, got it. So can we call it a shill to earn utility?
Yeah, I mean that's probably that's probably an easier way to understand it. Shield turns it's a I guess you would say it would be a great way to really explain what proof of post is, but yeah, essentially.
So in this case, are you guys planning to, I don't know, maybe a partnership with any other project and offer them your technology to be able to airdrop their tokens to their members who use your technology? Is it something you guys thinking about?
Yeah, so I think with partnerships, we've been really strategic. There's been conversations with other people about doing a possible partnership, but we haven't pulled the trigger yet because we want to make sure that the projects we team up with are really great. We understand the development teams, but ultimately, we haven't really gotten to that phase yet. Nick, did you want to add something to that?
Yeah, we are in discussion with a couple of projects, and I think the partnership will be on the Hocus Pocus side and the PulseChain side, because we will do with Hocus Pocus long-term investments, staking and farming in other projects as well. So not only Hex or PulseChain or PulseX and the Uniswap from PulseChain, but also other projects but we have to verify the code, of course. It must be a great team, and the community should also decide to partner up with them. So we will work with a DAO, and we will do a proposal to the community so that the community can vote.
Okay, got it. But it's something that's on the table. It's not something you're not thinking about. It is something
Yeah, yeah,
coming in the next.
yeah.
Okay,
Of
all
course,
right.
of course.
And can we say this is the main utility of your project, or you guys have all planning to have other utilities?
So when you say main utility, you're talking about with our tax structure, with the treasury wallet and the burn fees and whatnot. Is that correct?
Well, no, I'm talking. I know this is the particular part about your tokenomics. You have this reward function, which is in Ethereum and also in the Hoc tokens. But I'm talking more about the this proof of post protocol. Is it the main utility you're gonna put in the front, or you guys planning to have other utilities in the future for either
Yeah.
Wiz or Hook project?
I think the proof of post is more like a marketing tool, and
Okay.
the main utility is the treasury that you earn on the Ethereum side and of course on the PulseChain side. But we're also working on a swap functionality. So I think we will integrate the first version this week. It's not on our own pool yet, or our own pool, but via Uniswap. But in the future, we will also will set up a DEX, and we're also try to partner up with some other projects for this.
Great, man. So we can say this is the beginning of a whole ecosystem in being built right now.
Yeah, that's correct.
Absolutely.
Great stuff, man. And tell me more about the marketing. All communities they love to hear about marketing. So are you guys having any activities planned for the marketing so far?
So for marketing activities, we plan to push forward with the Wiz marketing campaign with major influencers. We're planning a series of interviews and AMAs to promote the project and grow the community. We also plan to start like another proof of post phase since our last one was a huge success. We would like to emphasize that we have not done any pre-sale and there are no funds or token allocations for influencers. Our goal is to grow the community organically based on the overall value of our project. So what we're trying to do is provide the best value project that gains a lot of traction within the community rather than having some sort of forced growth. And our another goal is we want to be the best decentralized finance product that can impact wallet holders positively. We have seen many influencers in the past promote scam projects that have impacted the average retail investors negatively. We do not want to receive any sort of bad reputation through shady practices. So we want to use interviews and AMAs to discuss the overall project fundamentals and let retail investors decide if our project is the best investment for them.
Yeah, good strategy. It's definitely more clear for me right now because I've made some research about the project, but now hearing it like live from you, it's different. Now I understand more and I can see the vision of the project for the long term. So
Awesome.
this
Yeah.
said,
Go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I definitely agree. After outside of the Wiz token, I do a lot of research with projects and trying to see what other projects are doing and how they succeed. And this one of the greatest learning points I learned is the projects that can really convey their message across about what they're going to do and also have natural and organic growth typically are around for the longest period of time, and they don't just fall off the face of the earth like we've seen with past projects. So I just wanted to add that to what you were saying.
No, you're absolutely right, especially with this bear market. So the goal for the strong projects is to keep building, and once the bull run's gonna hit, these are the project that's gonna benefit from it, not the hype, the hype project and the pump and dumps project. Those projects they can pump for a few weeks, for a few months, but once they go down, they never go up again. All right, guys. So before we keep going with this AMA, I'm just gonna give the signal to our community members to drop their questions on the main chat. So the main chat's gonna be unmuted for about 2 to 3 minutes. Drop your questions, and we're gonna get back to those questions at the end of the AMA. So yeah, back to you, Chris.
Yes.
What about the roadmap? Where are you from your roadmap, and what's coming next?
So start with the roadmap. We're basically in the marketing phase for WIZ. As I've said earlier, we plan to keep participating in AMAs and interviews with different influencers across the space. In addition, we have been marketing our product to many big name influencers. We've had gained a lot of interest from the WIZ launch. Also, we have been asked to hold several private AMAs with like private investor groups and communities within Telegram. These aren't large venture capitalist funds, but these are mostly small retail investor groups. We also plan to launch another phase of the proof of post. The software development team will continue with project development. We plan to launch a swap integration and a fiat onboard powered by Moralis. We will add new features to the dashboard, such as in-depth treasury tracking. And down the road, we plan to launch Hocus Pocus, which depends on the launch of PulseChain. And we also plan to deploy a new Hocus Pocus version 3 contract and dashboard.
And what about your project, the Hocus Pocus? Do you have any idea about when it's gonna be launched? I know it depends on the post blockchain, but do you guys have any insider information? Like, is it gonna be late this year or early to 2023?
So with the launch of Hocus Pocus, the first thing we want to do is let PulseChain launch and just kind of sit back and observe and see how the PulseChain ecosystem
Okay.
works out, and then right once we start to see how everything works out and see things settle down, then we're going to plan a launch. And I can't really give you a necessarily a time interval, whether it's in like a month or 6 months after launch, but we do plan to take a little bit of time and then launch pretty soon after that.
Okay, got it. All right. So and talking about the speaking of the long-term vision, what is the your long-term vision for the WIZ protocol?
So, for the long-term vision, so ultimately, we're going to see, our main project launch sometime within, hopefully within next year, and ultimately, the main point of WIZ is to continue to do this onboarding functionality. All of us can agree that Ethereum is going to continue to be probably one of the top places for new crypto investors to go and interact on the Ethereum blockchain. And so, as more people come onto Ethereum and start to get into cryptocurrency and start learning about, like farming and staking and whatnot, we're going to use WIZ as probably the premier onboarding project to capture new investors and bring them in and give them the ability to bridge over to the PulseChain ecosystem, since you're going to start earning rewards in Pulse tokens. And so ultimately, I think that WIZ long term is going to be very beneficial, especially during the bull market, to capture new investors long term.
Great. And do you guys have any connections with the Pulse blockchain team?
No. So traditionally, Richard Hart, he's very exclusive with his project development, and he doesn't do partners with any projects or whatnot. Um, I know project developers have talk back and forth and talk about like issues with the coding on testnet and whatnot. But as for like a direct connection that you're probably thinking about, we don't have any connection.
I deployed a lot on the PulseChain, and we also have a lot of contact with the technical guys. So we're working on GitLab. So if you found some issues for PulseX or PulseChain, we could log it via GitLab. So that's the only contact that we have with the team.
Okay, okay. The reason why I asked this, because I see you guys, your project is kind of introducing new investors to the Pulse blockchain. So I
Hmm.
said, why not? They like you're helping them somehow. so so they maybe should give you also some good visibility since you guys like pushing for them.
We are all busy working on the same goal.
Exactly, I can see that, man. So yeah, I saw also you guys have like a kind of a the dashboard. Can we go through this dashboard and give us more information about your token, the WIZ token right now? How is it going and some more informations?
Yeah. So essentially, what the dashboard has is it has the dollar amount of the liquidity pool. It has the token price. It tells you how many tokens have been burnt, and also tells you how much Ethereum is in the treasury wallet. And so instead of going through Etherscan and having to comb through all the components that typically traditional investors look for, it's all there on the dashboard. And it's a great way to increase transparency between the project, the development team, and the overall community.
Okay, great. I can see my partner did post like a screenshot from the dashboard. I don't know if it's pinned. I'm gonna pin it. I just pinned it for our members to can so they can have a look to this dashboard. How does it look like? It's interesting. It keeps track of what's going on with the token. And earlier, I heard you talking about the liquidity. That it's is it locked for a long term or it's gonna be locked for a long term?
So right now, liquidity is going to be locked for approximately a year. And then after a year, approximately 2% of the liquidity is going to be unlocked over time. And then there's options to extend it for a month. And I believe that the community has approximately 2% of the liquidity, and then 5% of it is in a dead wallet where no one has access to the keys to the basically to the wallet. And so the idea behind the liquidity is to keep it locked, and also to make sure that to basically to increase transparency between us and the community in case like people think we're going to do like a rug pull or something sketchy that a lot of these scam tokens have done in the past.
Okay, I
So
get
it's
it. So
locked
for now, okay.
via Team Finance for 12 months. And basically, with Team Finance, you can extend your locking period. So we will cut the total liquidity in several pieces of 2%. And I think we will stretch it out over 15 months. And that's the initial liquidity. But we also have the automatic liquidity, of course. And that's the 2% in each sell order. And at this moment, I think we already reached, if you look at the total amount of liquidity, we already have, I think, 5% of the total liquidity is holding by the debt wallet address. So it's there and locked forever.
Yeah, the dead wallet is kind of the burn wallet.
Yeah, that's correct.
Correct.
All right, great. So before we go to our community members' questions, anything you wanted to add about Wiz or Hook project? Anything to like to attract more investors? Why should we invest in those projects? And is it a long-term investment or a mid-term, short-term investment? What should we expect from this?
So, just kind of as like a final note, so this past bull market cycle, we've seen like many decentralized finance and meme coin projects rug pull and steal millions of dollars from retail investors. This was not only terrible for investors, but also bad for cryptocurrency as a whole. We here at like Wiz and Hocus Pocus want to change the entire cryptocurrency space. We want to introduce a really cool DeFi protocol that has potential to appreciate rapidly and reward token holders with treasury payments that are not only in the native coin. We wanted to simplify staking, yield farming within the decentralized finance space. Many investors shy away from, staking and yield farming based on its complexity. So we introduced this project that has a great marketing scheme, awesome tokenomics, and it's very easy to understand. We firmly believe not only WIZ will continue to do well in the future, but will also set a new standard for meme and decentralized projects. Overall, when it comes to short-term, mid-term, and long-term, WIZ and Hocus Pocus, we are a long-term mindset project. We're not necessarily focused on the overall price. We're focused on the utility and continuing to build an awesome product for you guys. And from my past experience, the best project development teams aren't the ones that focus on the price of the coin. They mainly focus on the utility and trying to improve the overall user experience. So in my opinion, we're long-term all the way, and we're excited to continue to develop in this space.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. How can I say that? The price will always follow. If the utility is good and if the utility is actually used by members or investors, so the price will follow. It's the whole market condition that affect many prices right now.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more.
Great. So anything more you wanted to add, or we can start talking? We can start taking the questions from our members.
Nick, did you want to add anything else?
Now, maybe it's also good for the onboarding to mention our Hocus Pocus School, our channel, where we onboard the WIZ holders. We have tutorials over there, how to do a swap, how you configure your network settings, but also how to use a ledger, how to install a ledger. That's our channel is based for a safe DeFi space, and maybe it's also good to mention the unique contract features. For example, in our contract, normally reward tokens have admin keys, so they can change fees on the buying side or the selling side. With our protocol, we don't have any admin key in the contract, and we have one main pool, and that is the WIZ Ethereum main pool. And it's also good to know when someone else creates another pool, for example, with USDC and WIZ, that our contract immediately recognize the new pool, and the fees will be taken place, but they will be sent to our main pool.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's all without keys. And with reflection, you see a lot of reflection tokens that they have reflection, but they don't exclude, for example, the liquidity pair. And the liquidity pair is one of our biggest holders, of course. So a lot of reflection ends up in the liquidity pool, and this creates a continued sell pressure, and we excluded within our reflection. We excluded the debt wallet, the marketing address, and the liquidity pool. So it's all in a ratio on the holders.
Okay, so for those who doesn't understand, it's like the marketing wallet, the burn wallet. They for some contracts they are considered as holders in that project. So they do receive reflections as any other holder. But for this project, they have excluded those wallets, and usually those wallets are the biggest wallets. You only find them in the top 10 wallets. So by excluding these wallets, the holders will get more reflections. Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right, perfect. All right, guys. So I think we've covered mostly everything, and yeah, you spoke about a YouTube channel you guys have for some educational stuff. So maybe you can DM me this channel, and we can drop it on the main chat with all the announcements we're gonna be making.
Absolutely, we can take care of that.
Yeah, Not necessarily now. Like after the AMA, you can DM me the channel, and we're gonna add it to the post. All right, so let's move to our last segment of this AMA, the community questions. So I have a few questions in front of me right now. I'm gonna start with the first one. Is the first question is from TYE Ty. So the question is, how is the interrelationship between Pulse and Ethereum network beneficial to users in terms of scalability and costs?
So, the idea with PulseChain is it serves as kind of in my opinion, like a life jacket for Ethereum. So when Ethereum returns in the bull market, we're going to see an increase of network usage, and as the network increases, you're going to see gas fees go up astronomically, like we did the past bull market. So instead of doing that transaction on Ethereum, you can actually do it over on the Pulse chain. Now, your one question might be, well, how does it work? How do I do a transaction on the Pulse chain? So PulseX is going to be offering this really cool feature that not a lot of influencers have been talking about, where you can take your LP pairs of your ERC20 and your PRC20 tokens. And during the launch of PulseChain, you're going to be airdropped a PRC20 version of each of your ERC20s. And so essentially what you can do is bridge over your ERC20 token and pair it up with your PRC20 token on the Pulse chain, and you become a liquidity provider on PulseX. And so that allows you to actually swap for an ERC20 token version of whatever project you want on the Ethereum blockchain. So the idea is PulseChain will have a pretty phenomenal bridge that won't have any issues, and then you can just go back and forth and save a bunch of money on fees by interacting using the PulseChain.
Excellent. It's a little bit technical for some investors because we're not all that experienced, but I can see the potential of this kind of your project in this moment because I remember when people were talking about I'm just gonna give an example about Solana when it first launched. It was a little bit complicated how to create the wallet and the Solana network, how this, how that. But we also Solana how it did, and I think they hit $230 all-time high.
Yes.
So anything can happen in the crypto space, and especially at this early stage. So yeah, let's move to the next question. The next one is from Christopher. So the question is, figured out WIZ token will not be on any centralized exchange. Why was that decision made?
So when Wiz was first launched, we didn't have any money, any funds dedicated to a centralized exchange, and so the idea is we want this community, we want this project to be community driven and through natural growth. And over time, we might see a project like Wiz get picked up and sold onto a centralized exchange. And this is something that we saw with coins like Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, where like Coinbase came across and bought that token up and started selling on their centralized exchange. So we do support centralized exchanges, especially like the ones that are playing fair and not doing like sketchy stuff. And I'm not going to give any names. We all know who I'm talking about. But ultimately, we want to keep it for the community and want to keep it decentralized and keep the natural growth going.
Perfect. All right, so let's move to the next one. The next question is from Ricard Stewart. So the question is, I see the WIZ Telegram group is different from the Hocus Pocus Telegram group. Why not just create one community, or is Hocus Pocus going to be a different project? I mean, you're going to build two projects within the same scope.
So I think what it comes down to is, when it comes to Telegram groups, you got different, you got questions for different projects, and splitting them up and having two different Telegram groups one for Hocus Pocus and then just one for straight WIZ, will help us have the right people in the right Telegram, and it will also, filter which questions need to go for which project. So ultimately, I think it would be really great to have two separate Telegrams so that if you have a question about Hocus Pocus, you just go to that Telegram, or you go to WIZ Telegram if you have a question about WIZ. So that's ultimately the idea behind it.
And I think it's the right decision. So no confusion. All right, so let's move to the next one. The next question is from Neo Anderson. So the question is, mostly new tokens are not concentrating on listing on exchanges. So what's WIZ planning on that front?
I'm trying to understand the question. So he's saying that
I
most.
think he means about what's going on recently with all the problems with some centralized exchanges, and now many new projects they don't focus anymore on being listed. So what's the other alternative you guys working on? I think this was his question.
Okay. Yeah. So I think our original approach was we're not necessarily focused on getting listed on centralized exchanges. I think our main focus is on the project development side, and I think we could do really well by just being listed on a decentralized exchange and just keep following that community growth. And we saw this with projects like Hex and whatnot, where they really grew within different communities, but they weren't necessarily listed on a centralized exchange until I believe it was a couple months ago. So I think ultimately we're not focused on centralized exchanges, but if it does happen, then we're not going to discourage it.
Okay, got it. All right, next question from Sufyan Al-Burki. So the question is, what is the expected time to open the second proof of post?
I think Nick, could you answer that question?
Yes, it's a good question. We already have done a meme contest, and I think we received about 200 memes.
Nice.
And I think we have to look at the situation right now, because the first post was open for I think 24 hours and received 4,000 unique wallet addresses and Twitter handles. And I think it's better to do small campaigns. And for example, the guys now today started with raiding, and we have to decide with the community which way we will go. And I think it will be in that direction.
Okay, great. All right, so I'll maybe take one last question. So the question is from Janner. The question is, how do you encourage investors to come in with 4% buy fee, or will it be adjusted over time?
Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, we can't adjust the fees because we don't have keys. And in the end, it will be all returned to the investor, because they will earn rewards on the Ethereum side and, of course, on the PulseChain side. And we expect bigger rewards on the PulseChain side because of the long-term investments we will do. For example, Hex is one of the tokens where we will do staking for long-term. So we have to think of staking for a year, 2 years, 3 years. And we all know what Hex has done the last 2 years. It went, I think, almost 1,000,000%. And that's the same for PulseChain. So at the end, all the fees will return to the investor, except the 1% marketing. But we will use this to onboard new people, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And marketing is always important for any project, anyways.
Yeah.
All right, so I will be taking one last question. I see this. It's an interesting question. So the question is from Rayhan. His question is, you're giving out rewards for holding WIZ token in Ethereum. Is there any minimum value of WIZ tokens to be held to qualify for the reward?
Nope. It's a short answer. Nope.
Perfect. I wanted just to make it clear. I knew the answer, but for some people, they need to hear it from you guys. So any bag you hold from WIZ token will get you automatically rewards with Ethereum.
That's
But
correct.
the bigger bag you have, the bigger reward you will receive.
Yeah, but on the Ethereum side, you will receive WIZ, of course. And yeah, if you want to check your rewards, you have to go to our dashboard. We also have two wallet bars. The left one is for WIZ. So if you paste in your wallet address, you will immediately see your holdings, including your reflection. And when Hocus Pocus is live, you can use the same dashboard, of course. And then you can use the right wallet bar. But we already have a dashboard for Hocus Pocus up and running on the testnet of PulseChain. And that's way different. We will also do an in-depth view of our treasury, of course. But that's something at a later stage.
Perfect. So it's gonna be airdropped automatically. No need to claim the rewards, right?
I think on PulseChain, we could airdrop it because the fees are way less than Ethereum. I think now in the bear market, for a swap you pay $2-3. But we all knew when it was the bull market, sometimes you had a swap for $200-300. And
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
with PulseChain, it's less than a cent. So the block sizes are for in the future are also bigger, because we knew we have the new version of Ethereum, but they didn't change anything at the block size. So you still have the same problem on Ethereum. It's on the roadmap, but it's not fixed yet. So an airdrop on the PulseChain side is possible because it's way cheaper.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay, guys. So our question answer segment is finished. Thank you very much, Nick and Chris, for being with us today. It was a great AMA. I think you guys have a great project. Maybe the timing is not helping you right now because of this bear market, but I'm sure we are almost at the bottom right now, and things are gonna go better in the beginning of next year. Well, I hope so. And yeah, man. So I hope things gonna go better for all the projects, for all the crypto space, and I wish you guys good luck and all the success.
Thank you very much, Dali.
You're more than welcome.
Thanks, Dolly.
You're welcome, guys. So for our community members, don't forget to join WIZ Telegram. The link is dropped on the main chat. Also, don't forget to follow their Twitter account and Mr. Big Whale's announcement channel. Go show some love to WIZ channel, to WIZ Telegram channel, and follow the project, because we're gonna be following the project and we're gonna be updating you very soon about all the new updates. So thank you so much for being with us today, and see you guys on the next AMA. Bye bye.